welcome to this week's Square Meal video news. I'm Ben.
Hi, I'm Neil.
Well, this week's promised Indian summer has so far failed to materialise, but the courtyard of Amici restaurant in Kennington is still a nice place for us to be spending the afternoon. This week we've got some new restaurants coming up and also some exciting soft launch news. First of these is the Truscott Cellar, which opens in Belsize Park. It's on soft launch until Friday with 50% off all food. Now, it's always, of course, sad when a restaurant closes, and this was one of my favourite local Chinese restaurants. It was Wenhua House. So it's some consolation that it's been taken over by such polished operators as the people behind the Truscott Arms in Maida Vale, one of the best gastropubs to have opened in the past 2 years. The chef behind the Truscott Arms, Aidan McGee, is one of the best chefs currently cooking in London. He's a former head chef of dinner and a real rising star. Here in Belsize Park, he's offering sharing plates of charcuterie, fish boards and cheese, and that's backed up, as the name would suggest, by a really cracking wine list. There are 300 bottles on offer here and 50 by the glass. So for a North London bargain, get on down to Belsize Park before Friday when full prices will resume. Any other bargains this week, Neil, in London?
Well, speaking of soft launch, if you head down to the city, Anna Hansen, who opened the Modern Pantry in Clerkenwell in 2001, has now opened another. That opened on Tuesday. That's the Modern Pantry in Finsbury Square. We spoke to her early this week. She's very excited. It's huge. They've got a tapas bar, and she used to work at the Provedores in Marylebone. And she's very keen to get back to that. So maybe in the future there's going to be more of that kind of small plates, quick turnaround stuff from Anna Hansen. But for now, she's just doing tapas as part of this huge new venture. And if you head down there before Thursday lunchtime, you can get half off all the food and all the cocktails, which is great news.
Off cocktails as well?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Pretty good. They don't normally do that.
And will there be the famous sambal prawn omelette on the menu there?
No, she's decided to leave that to Clerkenwell.
Anna, what are you doing?
Yeah, but instead she's got spicy veal omelettes with Thai basil.
That sounds pretty good.
She's keeping it safe.
Keeping with the spicy theme, one of our all-time favourite Indians, the Cinnamon Club, reopens this Thursday. It's been shut for refurb for a couple of months over the summer. It's going to reopen with a new contemporary look to the furniture, so it's going to be much more modern in the very traditional surrounds of the old Westminster Library. And on the food front, there's going to be a new emphasis on dishes being served on trolleys by the tableside, including a new feasting menu. And there's also going to be drinks being wheeled around the restaurant. There's going to be a fantastic new selection of gin doing the rounds on trolleys around the restaurant. If you've never been to the Cinnamon Club before, autumn is one of the best times to go. It couldn't have reopened as a better time. Chef Vivek Singh is one of the few Indian chefs who's really promoting game. And this, of course, is the best time of year for game, so go and try it at the Cinnamon Club from this Thursday.
And also on Thursday is the end of a little residency that's happening at the Soho Bar and Kitchen. So if you fancy some bao, you need to get yourself there before Thursday. And it promises to be pretty good. It's come from Hong Kong. It's called Little Bao. And with bao on Lexington Street in Soho doing so well at the moment and being so delicious, it's definitely worth checking out if you don't mind queuing, because I'd imagine there's going to be a big queue.
I went to the other bao on Lexington Street a couple of weeks ago. It was a Monday, it was raining, there was still a half-hour queue, but it was well worth it. I must say this is one of the best meals that I've had all year. It was completely delicious, and I can't wait to go back. I just hope I don't have to queue for half an hour.
Yeah, and they've got a deep fried ice cream variety as well on the dessert menu at Little Bao, which is quite similar to something they do at Bao, so it's probably worth trying both and comparing.
Stick anything in a deep fat fire when it tastes 100 times better is one of my unshakable rules in life. We've got time for one more new opening, which is in Kentish Town next Monday. It's called Beef and Brew. As the name suggests, it's a mix of steak and beer. It's championing cheaper cuts of meat, so onglet, rump, those sorts of things, but with an ex-Angela Hartnett chef as owner and also cooking in the kitchen. You can expect these cheap cuts to be put to really sophisticated use, and of course all washed down with craft beer. So that's the latest addition to the ever improving dining scene in Kentish Town, and that's from next Monday.
Nice. And coming up next week, something to think about is on the 18th, the Rugby World Cup kicks off, as does London Fashion Week, which this season is going to be centred around Soho. So have a look out on our website, because we'll be telling you how to make the most of the Rugby World Cup and Fashion Week.
So that's something for everyone from next week with sport and fashion. That's all bases covered. Thank you for joining us. Thanks again to Amici in Kennington for hosting us. Don't forget that if you've liked this, then please like us
Right there.
You can also, of course, follow us on Twitter. And don't forget that if you book tables through the website, squaremeal.co.uk, you can win some brilliant prizes with our Super Awards programme. This week's prize is a lovely gold watch from Links of London. That's it from us. Please join us again next week, and thank you for watching, and happy eating.
Bye.